you were also sharing about your journey from sales to marketing, right? And
Yes,
what
yes,
transpired,
yes.
because you were 8 years in sales, and then suddenly you had an opportunity to go into the marketing area, which is totally different from sales, where you meet people day
Yes,
to day. So what
yes.
helped you? How did you do the transition? Can you just share a little bit of your journey here?
Okay. When after about 7 to 8 years of sales, an opportunity came for me to get into a marketing role, and I took up the challenge and I came in, and I took the opportunity, and I went in that. The first thing, it's totally different to sales in the sense that you own the brand, or rather you are responsible of how the brand will be. Something I had to learn, that sales uh, is important, yes, because you execute all the plans, all the campaigns, and make that successful. But the planning is actually more of the uh, product person or the brand marketer, right? So that was an adjustment. But first thing is, I did not know how to do any analysis whatsoever except for my own self for sales. Beyond that simple analysis, I did not know how to use so much of Excel. And I had so much of, I was okay with all the rest of things which was involved with the work. But when it came to analysis, I had a phobia because I had no clue how to do anything beyond finding out growth and analyze with his performance and all. I didn't know how to do anything. So, use role of responsibility. My boss actually sent me for a training because I said I don't know how to use Excel. Okay, I don't know how to do beyond this, right? So, and there were other also senior managers also. We were all sent on for Excel training. Okay, we went for training in which we learned how to do pivot, we learned how to do VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, things like that. So then it made sense, okay, because previously, can you imagine, I would have like so many data in front of me and I'll be doing one by one, one by one. It took forever, but I'm actually very grateful that I was sent for that Excel training, because when I went for the Excel training with my other managers, also had the same struggle, okay, but into the different arenas, because a lot of them are more experienced and I was completely the new kid in the block. So that itself was an eye-opener. I was like, oh my goodness, you can do so many things with this. And then I started playing around with all its functions in the menu, find out what it is, and try to figure it out, and whether I should put $sign in front of this or not, or how do I lock certain numbers and all that. That was all magical. Last time it'd be one by one, right? So these are things I learned, and then I thought after learning that, it would be a snap of a finger and I'd be able to, just be a whiz kid. I was wrong. It was quite frustrating because, as much as you know the knowledge, putting it into practice, it's a lot of practice. It was so frustrating sometimes because I could get it all correctly. I mean, I can pivot it correctly, I can do all those things, but getting the story out of it, okay, analyzing it correctly, getting what you need out of that data. You can get a lot of things out of a data, but how do you do it? And I will put it this way: giving meaning to the data is something you need to learn on the job, okay. And I would say that I thank my lucky stars. I had wonderful bosses with me who were extremely busy, but they took the time to sit down with me and literally, with a pen and paper, show me, okay, this is what I want you to do. Okay, you have done this part correctly, but okay, it's beyond that. How do you analyze or bring meaning to the numbers that you just analyzed? Pivoting is great, but what does that mean? Okay, how do you know which one to call out? Okay, how do you know how do you do this? So they actually sat down with me with the traditional pen and paper and to explain everything and to teach me. And I did a lot of trial and error. Then I began to appreciate hate turned into love. So that's my love story with Excel. I hated it in the beginning. I really did, because I'm like, what the world is this? To okay, I get it. Oh, there's a story here. Okay, kind of thing. So I get excited over things that I suddenly discover. So that is basically my story, and I'm actually very grateful for the training that I had. I'm very grateful for the bosses that I actually had, who really helped me, and also my senior colleagues who were all the Excel biscuits, who can just click a button and everything comes out. And my colleagues who were data analysts, business analysts, doing sales, force, effectiveness, things like that. I learned a lot from talking to all my other colleagues. How do you do this? How do you do this? And I always start my sentence with, okay, I'm going to ask you a stupid question. I qualify it as a stupid question because I don't know whether what I'm going to ask is a valid question or something that is my ignorance. I don't know. And they always laugh and say it's not a stupid question. I'm glad you asked this. And then they show me the tricks, the tips, and how to manage that. So yeah, it has actually been helpful, and year on year, I get better at it. Okay, I learn something new every single time. With different people. Different people, they have different ways of using Excel, and I learn different new tricks with that, to becoming comfortable with using that. I even use that now for my own household things, for budgeting my own house. Everything is in an Excel sheet, because I cannot find it any more use. I mean, I don't see how I don't use it. It's so ingrained in me that I tend to use this, and I can see everything as it is. Even some things I don't even like to see. Sometimes you do your own personal financial thing, and then you go like, oh, I spent so much on this. You don't like to see it, but it's facts, which is good, right? So in that sense, yeah, I enjoy that. Now I enjoy that. I hated it. It was not a great journey for me, but it was a journey. Nonetheless, I'm not going to lie. Okay.
All right. So thank you, Angie, for sharing your wonderful journey from sales, marketing, to analyzing, coming up with strategies, and all. Any parting advice do you have to give for our viewers here?
I would say that keep learning. Okay, learning something new is nothing wrong with it. Okay, and it's nothing wrong. Sometimes they think, okay, I learned something and that's about it. Okay, but learning from everyone, I think that is more important. Being humble about it. You don't know something, you learn from somebody who knows, someone that you're comfortable to approach and to learn. Go ahead and learn. There is no age limitation in learning anything new. So try out. It's no harm. I mean, it's scary at first, but keep trying. You never know. You might end up liking the one thing that you hate. Okay, so that's my particular.